The boy found a lizard's tail, and his father told him that if he buried the tail and whispers a spell, it would come back to life. It was a harmless prank, but his son took it seriously. From then on, he crouched by the little dirt grave every day, chanting the spell. One day, when his father was about to tell him the truth, he saw a lizard crawl out of the ground. Though it was strange, his father still believed it was just a coincidence. But that afternoon, he received a call from the police. His wife and son had been in a car accident. Mark rushed to the hospital to find his son unconscious and undergoing an emergency surgery. But the heart monitor flatlined, and the doctors had no choice but to declare his son dead. At that moment, a bolt of lightning struck, causing a power outage in the room. A while later, the heart monitor mysteriously started beeping again, bringing Jack back to life. Before Mark could even process it, his son asked where his mother is, but Mark's wife was too severely injured in the crash and had died at the spot. That night, Mark was heartbroken when his son walked up to him, holding one of his mother's severed fingers. Jack thought that if he buried the finger, his mother could be brought back to life. Looking at his broken son, Mark didn't stop him. He just pulled him into a hug. The next day, a woman named Jane also came to the funeral. She saw Jack sitting sadly in the corner and wanted to comfort him, but he just stared at her with a strange, intense look. This reminded Jane of some things that had happened 7 years ago. It turned out that Mark and Jane were colleagues at the same company. At the time, Jane had a huge crush on the handsome and dedicated Mark. One evening, Jane's boss deliberately made her work late and tried to harass her. Luckily, Mark noticed and stopped the boss. Terrified, Jane threw herself into Mark's arms. Just then, Mark got a call from his wife and quickly said goodbye to Jane. And from that point on, strange things started happening around Jane. She would get nosebleeds and receive calls from unknown numbers, but all she would hear on the other end was static. To thank Mark for his help that day, Jane prepared a gift for him. But just then, Mark got news that his son was about to be born and immediately rushed to the hospital. That night, Jane received another call from a mysterious number. At first, she thought it was her boss playing a prank in revenge, but this time she heard a woman's voice. When she turned around, she saw a strange figure beside her in mirror. Later, Mark brought his newborn son and his wife to the office. But just as Jane wanted to go see the baby and offer her congratulations, Mark's wife whispered out the same words in the same voice Jane had heard on the phone.